This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
I don't know if tomorrow is going to be different. I just know one of the things that has been removed from the equation that we can focus on, it was the head coach.
A big shakeup for the St. Louis Blues after they fire head coach Craig Berube. It comes just hours after a 6-4 loss to the Detroit Red Wings and a 4-game losing streak. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. Kelly Jackson has the night off. Berube led the team to its only Stanley Cup title in 2019. Now the Blues are looking for a new leader. Our Corey Miller has been following the story since the news broke late last night, about 11 o'clock. He joined us in studio with what is going to happen next. Corey.
Well, if you weren't online late last night, you woke up with quite a surprise this morning. After their 4th straight loss, the Blues decided to fire the only man to lead them to a Stanley Cup championship. Craig Berube is out just 28 games into the season, and AHL coach Drew Bannister is in as the interim. The Blues are only a game under 500 this year, but the inconsistency became too much. The team is just 1-5 in the month of December and currently have the 2nd worst power play in the entire league. 4 years ago, Berube was on the other side of a decision like this, taking over for Mike Yeo and leading the Blues to their first ever Stanley Cup. Now he's out of a job, and there's plenty of blame to go around. Here's President and General Manager Doug Armstrong on the firing.
We talked a little bit, we had a beer, we reminisced for a second, and now my job is to move forward, and Craig will now regroup, and he'll land on his feet. He's too good of a coach not to be in this league, and I feel personally responsible for the situation that we're in, and I also hope that the people that I just talked to feel personally responsible too.
So who is Drew Bannister, the man taking over on the bench? He is a 49-year-old Ontario native who has led the Blues AHL team to consecutive playoff appearances. He also played 6 years in the NHL as a defenseman. Bannister's first game will be tomorrow as the Blues host the Ottawa Senators. We will have much more on the coaching change coming up in sports.
Corey, thanks. Berube's firing came so late last night that many Blues fans woke up to the news this morning.
5 on your side's Holden Kerwicki spent the day speaking to fans as they work to process their emotions around the man affectionately known as Chief. He joins us live outside of the Enterprise Center. Holden, how are the fans reacting?
Well, and Mike, many of the Blues fans that I spoke with today admitted that this team was stuck in the mud and that something needed to change, but they really question if Berube's firing was really necessary at this time. Now, the Blues did have an open practice today. That's their first practice in the post-Berube era, and fans like Kerry Jenkins and Drew Dempsey were watching intently from the stands at Centene. They told me they were looking for something that has been missing in multiple Blues games this season, and that's effort from the players. That sentiment was echoed multiple times by Blues GM Doug Armstrong, who took some criticism of his own from the fan base.
He built a good team, and then I feel almost every decision since the Stanley Cup has been the wrong decision.
I would say the team is definitely not skill-wise what it used to be, but I can see that there's been a little bit of lack of effort at times, but I think that some of the young guys have really pulled the team up, and I think that we have a great future ahead of us.
Today, Army said multiple times that Blues fans are smart and knew that they weren't getting their money's worth when they watch games this season. You're going to want to hear how he reacted to some of that fan criticism coming up at 6 o'clock. Reporting live outside of Enterprise Center, Holden Kerwicki, 5 on your side.
We'll continue to follow this story on air and online as the Blues search for a new head coach. You can also get updates on the 5 on your side app.
A teenage boy is charged with murdering a mother in front of her child during an attempted carjacking. This happened in January on Compton Avenue in South St. Louis. Kay Johnson was with her 14-year-old daughter parking when several people came up to their car. Prosecutors say 15-year-old Deshaun Harris shot Johnson when she did not get out. Investigators found the gun outside his bedroom window. Phone records also tied him to the murder and other carjackings in the area.
Some small business owners in Brentwood say they're being forced to move, and now they're suing the city to save their spot.
Multiple business owners along Manchester Road have teamed up to go head-to-head against the city after it agreed to a redevelopment plan. Our Justina Cornell joins us live from Convergence Body and Dance in Brentwood with reaction to all this. Justina.
Yeah, we heard from those business owners earlier today as they held a news conference here. They say they filed that lawsuit yesterday and they just want people to know the truth. Brentwood is known as the city of warmth. Yet some are feeling the cold shoulder.
We've supported the city of Brentwood all this time. Last thing that Brentwood is doing is supporting us.
Wednesday, these business owners stood together, announcing a lawsuit against Brentwood.
They all own businesses or property along the Manchester corridor. And now the city of Brentwood says that they've got to go. They're calling these well-maintained properties blighted so that they can use their eminent domain power to take them and give them to a private developer.
Under Missouri law, if the city of Brentwood wants to take these properties, it needs substantial evidence of blight.
Just this summer, the city voted to approve a redevelopment agreement with Green Street Real Estate Ventures for a $400 million plan for mixed-use apartments, restaurants, and entertainment covering 77 acres.
The first phase of the plan is to have Green Street acquire all the properties in the Manchester corridor by the end of 2024.
With this coming in, owners feel forced out.
It was devastating for sure.
These spaces are more than just four walls, the plaintiffs say.
We have poured our heart and soul into this business.
My dad founded the company in 1955. And we've been at that location for almost 35 years.
And for Convergence Body and Dance co-owners, it's a loss after pouring in $100,000 to upgrade their business.
This is like home to us.
The couple says it's more than just money. They've invested time and dedication. That's something they can't ever get back.
There's a lot of stories in this room, and there's a lot of people in this room, and history in this room, and community in this space, and we like to leave it here.
Told this next step in the lawsuit could take several months. Now, I did reach out to the developer Green Street, the mayor of Brentwood, and the communications manager. I have not heard back from anyone yet. Reporting in Brentwood, Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
The St. Louis County Council has passed a 2024 budget plan. Now, County Executive Sam Page says he'll have to carry out some spending cuts in various departments. Police and justice services are in line for big spending increases, but the prosecutor's office, Page's office, and the county councilor's office will have to scale back their spending.
The council identified the cuts when they passed the budget. They identified which departments would be cut, and it's the obligation and responsibility of the executive office, my office, to implement those cuts and make decisions in those departments about which programs will be funded.
Some of Page's initial ideas suggested that cuts could impact the county's ability to send out tax bills in the mail or repair problem properties throughout the county. Now he says he will wait for department heads to identify specific cuts before making those final.
An impeachment inquiry, what action the House is taking against the president and his son.
Access to abortion pills, what type of restrictions the U.S. Supreme Court will decide on.
A missing witness and questions surrounding a death in a small Missouri town. Our I-Team looks into the mysterious disappearance.
52 degrees at high today. It's clearing for the Geminid meteor shower. It's going to be a great night for that as it peaks. And of course, we're about 12 days away from Christmas. It's going to be a mild one, it looks like. More on the forecast coming up.